Hot Mike, he's having a dump.
And on that note, we're rolling. G'day, Leigh Kelly.
Good afternoon, sirs.
Carlos, how are you,
doing?
champ?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
It's Friday afternoon. I've had a cracker week.
Good to hear.
Sounds like it.
What did you do today, Leigh?
Well, officially, unofficially, just stuff at Movie World.
Really?
Yeah. Just out at the studios doing a few transport shifts with the guys and driving trucks around, having a bit of fun in the morning time.
Interesting.
Getting to look at all the really nice, I think they're using Alexis cameras or something. Pretty high-end digital stuff, and it's just real nice to kind of have a look at those things that you would only normally see in the magazines, you know. So, as a little bit of a techno junkie, I'm right onto the cameras and the lenses, and you know, some days I could quite easily just take a left turn instead of a right turn and keep driving with some of them trucks, you know. So, there's plenty of nice kit being used out there.
Wow. What do they use it for?
Making movies.
In the studios.
The studios.
Interesting.
A little subliminal for a Friday afternoon, but
Hey.
We won't talk too much on that one. Hey.
Well, okay, yeah, but the last few weeks I've been borrowing a mate's camera to film something.
Yes.
I've noticed that it's all latest technology. I can't even tell you the brand, to be honest. I went from a Sony to a Canon. Really good new stuff, massive. But once I was looking back at the tapes, that everything I did with a GoPro was just beautiful. Like, for some reason, I was carrying these big, heavy cameras for all these days, and at the end of the day, I don't know whether, obviously they're fisheye, they're not as great looking, but there's something magic about these. Yeah, but there's something about these GoPros, man. They're amazing. The problem is you have to hold them up so close in someone's face.
The focal distance is pretty short, hey?
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of getting used to. Although, you know, once you step well outside the focal distance, then the distance does become fairly clear because it is 1080 still, you know. So, but yeah, there's some pretty cool little tricks you can learn online for your GoPro to really make it shine. That's for sure.
Yeah. I got to learn those tricks. I took GoPro to a Brant Bjork gig at the Northern in Byron. Went to watch Brant Bjork, had a GoPro. I was standing like a total dick in the back of the room with a GoPro in one hand and an iPhone in the other, holding them both up.
Better than an iPad, though.
The whole gig, you know. And the GoPro footage just sounded awful, and he looked like he was a dot in the back of the universe. So, you know, but I got some really cool footage with the phone, you know, which is weird.
That's the thing. You have to really edit with those GoPros.
Yeah.
Don't you? You have to, or film so so close that it's uncomfortable for the subject.
Yeah, to me, that's what they're for.
Yeah.
If I want to get up close and personal, that's where my GoPro is, or it's hanging off the drone, you know, and when you hang it off the drone at, 50 to 100 meters and, it's really starting to make shots look really tidy, you know. So.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you seen drone racing?
I have seen a little bit of drone racing getting around.
Have you seen drone?
No,
drone racing is where
cool.
the drones
You're
sit on the.
to that YouTube,
I couldn't believe it. I just saw it for the first time last week. Steve Darts told me. They sit on a line, drones, and they're generally in an underground car park.
Yeah.
And bang, they have to do laps of the car park. And so often guys are wearing goggles, looking through the cameras that are sitting on the.
Oh man, that's awesome!
And they're just flying. It's like Star Wars.
Some sort of speeder bike race.
Speeder bike racing. It's crazy.
It's like next level frisbee golf.
Yeah.
You know, they used to do this frisbee golf where you know,
but all
or floating putt-putt.
Yeah.
But dudes have got all trick parts. They're trying to make them go as fast. But they're actually just wearing goggles. It's like, it's the weirdest new technology thing I've ever seen.
Walking into pillars.
Here's a wonderful fact for you on that Dave from the drone shop at Southport this afternoon told me.
There's a drone shop in Southport.
Yeah, it's called the Drone Shop. It's actually straight across the road from Southport High. Southport High, yeah.
Myself and Drew are going there tomorrow.
At the top of the hill there. Yeah. And, it's more focused on service and teaching people how to deal with their equipment rather than trying to sell you something. He'll sell you something, but he'll order it in for you sort of thing. If you've got any dramas, he takes you through it, shows you what's happening to kind of create a better culture, I suppose, if anything, because at the end of the day, he reckons one of those racing drones would go quick enough that the blades are spinning quick enough that it'd chop your flesh.
Wow.
So the speeds and the RPM involved and the carbon frames and stuff like that it's going to have to be one of those things that's really looked at safety-wise for sure. And if not, it's going to be a really cool thing to watch. But I think it'll be more an interactive thing where you're actually looking at the recording of the FPV view rather than just watching these black things zip around a room. Because they're moving that quick now that you're really looking at the footage rather than the thing. Because the drone's moving that quick that you're like, well, there it goes.
Or just hoping for a crash. Let's
Well,
face it.
everybody loves a crash. Isn't that why you go to the speedway?
Yeah.
Drones, I think, are safer in a crash than a toy helicopter. Like you used to see people with toy helicopters and planes. Those things come down, they're written off. Drones can kind of like just bounce like bumper cars.
I've got a few boxed photos of when my drone's bounced. And it normally bounces back into 1,000 bits instantly.
I've got a mate who got a chopper, like a really good nitro chopper. He's a V8 supercar dude, so he's built it, a really good one. And he explained it. It just went up to about 1 meter and then just turned sideways, went wham, bang, straight into the shed, and just destroyed itself. It was like, yay, it went up 1 meter and then whack.
I'd like to just retract my last statement.
It's a chopper. Great, man. So have you been using that drone? I want to know more. I can't believe here's the story that if you go to Queensland Raceway, people are flying their drones above the track so they can record their mates racing.
Yep.
And so everyone's starting to go, God, what's with all these drones? There's like 10 in the air. And so fast forward a year from now, there's going to be 30.
Well, no, at the end of the day, it's still going to have to be a controlled airspace,
If that lands on the track,
once you fly a decent sized camera under a drone, then you're talking a fairly big drone. Like the hobby ones, like your Phantoms and stuff like that. They're really good for everybody to have a crack at and have a film. And there are guys getting some magical footage and photos out of them. But in the real sense of things, if you want good footage, you have to go to a bigger camera and and a bigger drone. So,
but in a year, that'll be smaller and cheaper. I could see the future coming soon where they'll be like, "Whoa, this is getting a bit out of hand."
The war is definitely on for the drone camera market. Like Sony's got an offering. Who else? Oh, I saw another one this week. The name eludes me, but GoPro and the manufacturers like DJI and stuff themselves are all in the camera race at the minute. So. With GoPro going to an native 4K, that's a really cool looking shot anyway, so.
84K?
No, it's a 4K, which is like 4K. Bigger than 1080. It's the next kind of bump up.
It's like super high definition.
Where will it end? I've always had this, and I think but I didn't read the article. Our eyes have a certain shutter speed, okay, and I've thought a long time ago, I went, wow, I wonder if our eye shutter, I don't think there is anything created that's as good as our eye shutter speed yet.
Yep.
But if they do create something that's better than our eyeball shutter speed, what are we not seeing? What's out there that we can't see right now only because of our limited eyesight?
Well, that's it.
And I'll tell you, ghosts, Ghostbusters style stuff, hot dogs and ghost mouths.
Have you ever
Slime.
Have you ever seen that footage, the observation test with the gorillas? Have you, the basketball guys and the gorilla walks across the screen?
No.
Well, basically, there's 5 guys in white shirts, 5 guys in black shirts. The white shirts are bouncing a basketball around, as are the other guys. And then you watch it, and you're asked to count how many times they pass. Then the guy goes, count that again, but this time only count the bounces, which you were already doing because every pass is a bounce.
Yep.
So you watch this thing 2 times, and then they say, did you see the gorilla? And you're like, what? And then you watch it again, and a guy in a gorilla suit walks across the screen, turns and scratches under his armpits and walks off. Because you're looking at the ball the whole time, you don't see this thing.
Wow.
And you talk about what your eyes can see, your attention span. We have trained ourselves to ignore so much because we're being overloaded centrally, visually, that we train ourselves to ignore everything. And that's, anyway, I'm going off a conspiracy here.
I've got to see that.
It's cool. It's cool because you just got, now that you know about it, you go, what? Yeah, but yeah, It's wicked.
You reminded me of that one that
I thought he was going
Of
to
this-
start talking about dicks again.
have you seen? Yeah. Have you seen the one where there's the real fit looking lady and she's crossing the road and she's got this just great body and you're saying, look, this body is so good. You didn't notice there's a dog driving a taxi. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
There's a dog with its arm out the side. Anyway, that's about 20 years old.
Is it too early for dad jokes? That's all I'm
Yeah,
asking.
yeah, man. I'm half canning.
It is Friday.
Yeah, I've had a cracker week. Real good.
What have you done, man? Last night, let's rock backwards. Last night, you jammed, rocked out.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. With the bastards.
Good.
Which
good
you're
night.
both in, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a good night.
It was good. Good to play bass again. Just playing bass.
You
playing
are
a bit
good
of
at
bass.
bass, man.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a simple sound, but to play it, it's got to be. You got to be good with the drummer. It's kind of this cool trick where it's easy on your fingers because you're only going do 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 whatever, but you got to have your brain locked into the beat, and that's the fun. That's where the fun really lies.
The funny
the
thing
funk.
is,
You can mess up the whole song just by being a bit.
the funny thing is, those three lock in really easily, really well all the time. We got to jam the first time in 3.5 years, and the three of them were like, boom, straight into it.
yeah.
You know? So it's
Yeah. Do you play any instruments, Lee?
No.
Never?
No.
Sing?
No.
Come on, why not?
I've been asked many a time.
Yeah? You look like a rock and roll.
Well, everybody says that. Or a roadie.
I thought
Have
you
you
were
never
a
just
roadie.
gone-
I was like, what's going on here? Who are we interviewing? This guy?
Hey, Gav's running the Cooley Hotel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Just the new use this week.
Yeah.
Saw him last Saturday night.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I don't mind a gig at the Cooley Hotel. I actually recently went to the Cosmic Psychos there with the Dune Rats and shot photos for Blank magazine, that free press music magazine that's getting around the Goldie at the moment. That seems to be doing really good things too, online and in print. So, but the Cooley Hotel is always one of those rooms, like you know when it's cranking because the room tells you. And those guys had a party that night. Hey, it was so much fun.
Have you seen their new video?
Yeah, with Frizy and all them in it. It's fucking bullshit,
Best.
mate.
It is the
That's cool.
Yeah, just if you
Fucking
can,
bullshit, mate.
Yeah, that's it. You can look
so
up on the Cosmic Psychos YouTube channel, and they've got a bit of a in the making of as well, and it all just kept reverting back to, will someone just go and get us some more cold beer? There's cold beers up in the house in the freezer. Would someone Frizy's dying of thirst here. We need some more beer, and every second cut after they had a little bit of, look, will someone just go and get us some more cold beer? And by the end of it, they all look like they're having a fine time. So,
I mean, I don't remember this, but when in the mid-90s, when Nirvana became big, the Cosmic Psychos became big for two reasons. They were already playing music that sounded grungy.
Oh, for sure.
But they were already wearing flannelette shirts. Fashion came to them. Whoa, look at us. We're already wearing what Pearl Jam are wearing. Yay.
it was cool.
That's beautiful.
I think for my mind, it was just rad to
VV
see
shirts.
such a classic old Australian pub band come back after so many years and just go, well, fuck it, let's do another one, and come out and sound and play as good as they did, they absolutely carved it up.
Yeah.
Everybody side of stage, backstage, out the front at the Cooley Hotel, it was pumping, So, no, it was rad to be a part of. In the end, I think one of the Dune Rats, the drummer, he stands up and goes, you guys fucking rock. But we can't play second after you guys anymore. And then he just looks forward and throws up everywhere, all over his drum kit and all over the ground. But, it's character building stuff like that kids don't see anymore, and there was a nude dude and, there was stage diving and there was the most amazing hot chicks in the front row. No. Mate, the Dune Rats brought their own crowd, and they embraced the Cosmic Psychos as much as they partied hard for the Junies. It was sick. The boys were running cameras from the night, so I dare say sooner or later we'll see. They've also got a YouTube channel, Junies TV, I think it's called. And they were running plenty of cameras on the night, so hopefully there'll be some pretty rad video footage of it as well. So
That's good.
But yeah, that wasn't too bad.
You can't beat jamming with bands. It'll never. I don't think performance and being in a band playing it will never go out of style. Even though it's sort of